The Republic of Central America was a short-lived nation composed of Guatemala, El Salvador, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, and Honduras. The young nation was founded in 1823 after splitting from Mexico when the First Mexican Empire fell apart. 15 years later, the fledgling nation broke apart due to constant infighting, corruption, and other issues. But what if the Central American Republic survived and all went well for it? We'll have to take a very brief detour back to the early 17th century. We'll have the Spanish Empire be more assertive in their attempts to settle the Mosquito region of Honduras and the southern Yucatan region, aka modern Belize. So, whether through violence or religion, those areas will belong to the Capency of Guatemala with no contest, and Spain will build some infrastructure like paths and rough roads from Guatemala City all the way down to San Jose. Skipping forward all the way to 1821 comes our second change. Instead of breaking away and joining the First Mexican Empire, the Kingdom of Guatemala declares independence as the Federal Republic of Central America and establish a constitution. This will ensure that there doesn't need to be a plebiscite over the Chiapas region and it stays with the Central American Republic. Another major change we'll do is selecting the first president of the Central American Republic. Instead of Francisco Morazan winning the election, Jose Cecilio de Valle will run and win. Jose was a conservative politician, lawyer, and an expert in public administration. He was a hero to many in Central America and was well liked by both conservatives and liberals alike. In our timeline, he ran for president in 1834 and won. But before he even took office, he died of illness. Since magically curing illnesses is impossible, especially during this era, we'll just have him run for president early and win. During his term, Jose will promote a Central American identity and encourage cooperation between conservatives and liberals for the nation to survive. He sets up a national bank and begins further infrastructure projects across Central America to tie the provinces more closely and ensure fast response of the military should uprisings or revolts occur in places far away. As for their economy, there's not a lot of natural resources, but what they can do is export wood to make a profit. So that's how they'll be making their money from exports. In 1826, as Jose leaves office, he begins to make a speech, telling his countrymen to work together, and he exclaims, "Viva Central America!" Although Jose can run again as president since there's no precedent, he chooses not to, in order to display to his people what a president of Central America should be able to do and be able to give up his power without hesitation, like a certain other president up north. As the second presidential election takes place, Francisco Morazan wins and becomes the second president of the Republic of Central America. During Morazan's term, he will focus on promoting equal rights for all Central American citizens, potentially even Mayans, give better education, invite foreign investment and immigration, and begin work to slowly curtail the church's power instead of immediately stripping all of their power to ensure a major rift doesn't occur between liberals and conservatives. In 1830, Morazan's term is up, and the Central American Republic is still standing, slowly gaining stability and strength. A decade later, in 1841, Mexico is in flames due to its many mistakes and shots to the foot. Provinces secede, like Rio Grande, and most importantly in this case, Yucatan. The Republic of the Yucatan left Mexico and became its own nation due to centralist policies and because there was no investment going into it from Mexico. But here the Republic of Central America take a chance and beckon Yucatan to join it instead of becoming an independent nation, with promises of federalism, protection, fair treatment, and investment. Although there's some small protest from some Yucatans, the proposal is accepted and they join the Republic of Central America. Mexico is not happy with this, especially Santa Anna. So in 1842, he tries to convince Yucatan to join back with Mexico, but talks break down, as no deal can be made. Santa Anna then tries to forcefully take back Yucatan by sending troops to the east. Unfortunately for the Mexicans, the Yucatans and Republic of Central America have the jungles and number advantage, so they repel the invaders. Though beaten, Mexico does not recognize the annexation, and skirmishes happen, often instigated on the border by Mexico. In the middle of 1847, during the Mexican-American War, the Republic of Central America attacked Tabasco and managed to capture most of it. After the Mexican-American War, they annexed what they captured and began to form good relations with the United States and ensure that it has a deterrent against Mexico should they choose to try and wage war on Central America in the future. For the next few decades, Central America will continue to develop, maybe even get an industry going, even if it's small. Infrastructure will be built in the Yucatan to closely integrate into Central America, as well as new ports being constructed to boost trade in the Caribbean and income from foreign powers. Even though things are looking good, it's unrealistic to say that there would never be any conflicts within the nation. In the 1860s, there would be some sort of small conflict or mini civil war between indigenous, liberals, or even conservatives. But the conflict doesn't last long, and it's quashed relatively quickly. In the aftermath, reforms are made in an effort to promote unity. The next massive change comes in the late 1880s. Central American businessmen and government officials engage in talks with the United States for a grand project. The project ultimately goes through, and soon, construction of the Nicaraguan canal begins. It takes millions of dollars, decades, and many lives are lost, but the canal is finished in the early 1910s. As a consequence of there not being a Panama Canal, Panama doesn't become independent, at least not for a long time, due to the fact that the United States don't back Panamanian independence to build a canal here. Back to the Nicaraguan Canal. The United States own a big stake in the canal, and mainly use it for military purposes. But the Republic of Central America own a moderate percentage of it, and charge toll fees to ships to further increase their economy. And here is where the Republic of Central America peaks in this timeline. Having a good and stable economy, moderate stability, and good immigration attraction that makes the population soar. Since we haven't snowballed much in Europe, World War I and World War II still happen, but I seriously doubt the Republic of Central America would get involved. At most, they would just not trade with the Central Powers in World War I and not trade with the Axis in World War II. During the Cold War, they would be a staunch American ally. They would likely put down communist and socialist elements in their country with the United States' help, and the nation would serve as a base for the United States to use to conduct anti-Soviet and communist operations in South America and the Caribbean. Alright guys, that's the end for this scenario. Thanks a bunch for the 16 likes on my last video. It's now my most liked video on the channel. I'll continue making more of these as always. Subscribe and share it with your neighbor. Until the next one, peace.